Iran, which appears on our world map, is no ordinary country. It is one of the oldest civilizations on Earth. Despite repeated invasions by the Mongols, Greeks, and Arabs, Iran has always preserved its language, poetry, and identity. Centuries ago, this region was home to numerous communities. One of the oldest and largest civilizations was Elam, located around the Su in southwestern Iran. This civilization grew slowly over centuries, with local people building cities, temples, and writing systems. For approximately 2,000 years, Elam was a major power in the ancient world. However, continuous invasions, especially those by the Assyrians, devastated it, and a new era began. This new era began when Indo-Iranian tribes entered and began to settle. Two of the most important of these groups were the Medes and the Persians. The Medes may have created the first Iranian kingdom, but it was the Persians who changed the course of world history forever. Then, in 550 BC, Cyrus the Great united these Iranian tribes and laid the foundation of one of the greatest empires in history. However, Cyrus was unlike other conquerors. He chose to improve on existing things rather than create new ones. He often allowed local traditions, relations, and customs to continue. When he conquered Babylon, he exiled the exiled people to their homes. They were also allowed to return and rebuild their temples. This policy was forever recorded in the Cyrus Cylinder, considered the world's first human rights statement. Under Cyrus and subsequent rulers such as Darius I, the Achaemenid Empire became the world's largest empire, stretching from Egypt to India. They built roads, established provinces called satrapies, standardized taxation, and established an advanced system of administration. Persepolis became a symbol of Persian power. But no empire lasts forever. In 330 BC, Alexander the Great invaded Persia, and within a few years, the Achaemenid Empire collapsed. Persepolis was burned, and Alexander declared himself Emperor of Persia. After his death, his empire collapsed, and Persia came under the control of the Scythians, a Greek dynasty. Greek culture spread rapidly here, but Iranian identity could not be erased. Then, by the 3rd century BC, a new power emerged in the northeast called the Parthians. Originally, they were a pastoral people, but they created a powerful empire that controlled Iran and then Mesopotamia. The Parthians became Rome's greatest eastern rivals and controlled vital trade routes linking east and west. Their empire was not as centralized as the earlier Persian empires, but they preserved Iranian traditions and made the region politically strong. Then, in 224 AD, another major transformation occurred when a Persian man named Adassar overthrew the Parthians and founded the Sasanian Empire. Under the Sassanians, Iran once again became a powerful and centralized state. Zoroastrianism was declared the official religion, and Persian art, architecture, and scholarship reached their peak. The Sassanians fought long and fierce wars against the Roman and Byzantine empires for centuries. By the beginning of the 7th century, both empires had weakened significantly, and this was the moment when Muslim armies from Arabia emerged and invaded. The Persians were defeated in the battles of Qadsiya and Nawand, and the empire was finally destroyed in 651 AD with the death of the last Sasanian king, Yaslagad III. Iran gradually became part of the Islamic world, and Islam spread throughout the region. But here, too, Persian identity was adopted rather than lost. The Persian language began to be written in a new form, the Arabic script. Persian scholars, poets, and scientists became the most important figures of the Islamic Golden Age. For the next few centuries, Iran was ruled by various dynasties. One of the most important was the Seljuk Empire, created by Turkic rulers from Central Asia. Although the Seljuks were not Persian, they adopted Persian administration and culture and made Persian the language of literature, education, and official language. Once again, rulers from outside came, but could not harm Iran's identity. But then came the darkest period in Iranian history. When the Mongols invaded Iran in the 13th century, they destroyed entire cities and massacred thousands of people. It seemed as if this civilization would finally end. But despite all this, Iran survived. Iran's Mongol rulers, especially during the Ilkhanate period, gradually adopted Islam and Persian culture. What began as a catastrophe eventually became a new chapter in Iran's recovery. Later, another great conqueror, Timur, arrived from Central Asia, who whose military campaigns were extremely brutal. But this Timurid period also became a reason for the revival of Persian culture. Cities like Samarkand and Hira became centers of Persian literature, science, and art, and despite numerous conquests, Persian civilization remained unscathed. Then came the most important turning point in all of Iranian history. In 1501, Ismail I founded the Safavid Empire and declared Shia Islam the official religion of the state. This single decision permanently transformed Iran, distinguishing it from its mostly Sunni neighbors, especially the Ottoman Empire. Despite being a center of Persian culture, Iran became associated with a Shia religious identity that would define it for the next several centuries. Then, under Shah Abbas I, Iran underwent a massive cultural and economic revival. During this period, Isin became one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Trade expanded, architecture flourished, and Persian identity deepened. Despite the weakening of the Safavids, the foundations they laid remained intact. Then, in the 20th century, Iran faced a new kind of attack. Instead of armies, it faced foreign pressure through politics, oil, and economics. Russia pushed Iran from the Caucasus, while Britain attacked from the south to protect its path to India. Although Iran was never fully colonized, it was constantly pressured and manipulated. And then the discovery of oil further exacerbated the situation. In 1906, Iranians revolted and forced the Shah to accept a constitution and parliament. This was one of the first constitutional movements in the entire region. But foreign powers feared a strong and independent Iran, allowing instability to develop. In 1925, Reza Shah took power and began building a modern state. He established railways, schools, universities, and a strong army. In 1935, the country was officially renamed Iran. However, World War II changed everything once again. In 1941, Britain and the Soviet Union invaded Iran and forced Reza Shah to abdicate. His son, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, was installed as the new Shah of Iran. Oil struggles then began again. In 1951, Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh nationalized Iran's oil industry, which infuriated Britain. In 1953, the CIA and British intelligence jointly organized Operation Ajax, overthrowing Mossadegh and restoring the Shah's power. This single event forever changed modern Iranian politics. The Shah built a powerful state of rule with American influence and modernized the economy. However, inequality, repression, and dependence on the West fueled widespread public anger against him. This resentment grew to such a degree in 1979 that millions of Iranians joined the revolution under the leadership of Akhmatova. The monarchy collapsed, establishing the foundation of an Islamic republic. This new leadership viewed the West, and especially the United States, as a force that had interfered in Iranian politics for centuries. The U.S. embassy in Tehran was taken over, and relations deteriorated completely. At the same time, Iran also turned against Israel, considering it a close ally of the United States and a symbol of Western influence in the region. From that time until today, Iran has remained a major force in the Middle East. It fought a bloody 8-year war with Iraq, resisted American influence, and entered and exited numerous diplomatic phases, including the nuclear deal. But the tension with the United States never permanently subsided. And today, this tension has reached its most dangerous point. In 2026, this conflict between Iran, the United States, and Israel has escalated into a full-scale war, with airstrikes on major cities, missiles and drones launched, and the Strait of Hormuz closed, shaking global energy markets. Iran's top leadership has been killed and its infrastructure destroyed. But despite all this, Iran has not collapsed. Over the past 5,000 years, Iran has been invaded, reshaped, and attacked from every direction. Yet, it remains the same as it always has been, an ancient civilization that always survives.